So an analysis by the Canadian Press shows that a small group of Canadian charities are paying their executives more than $200,000. And in some cases, they end up taking home more than the salaries of a provincial premier. So many of these organizations say high salaries are necessary to attract the right talent. So what do we make of this? Is this wrong? What does this do to your head and your gut when you process this, DJ?
I think, I never thought I'd be defending the fat cats making a lot of money, but I think they are competing with the private sector. You want to get the top talent, you're going to have to pay them the equivalent money. Now, if they're showing up to work in a mink coat and getting out of the Maserati, then I'm going to start asking questions. But yeah. I think you got to pay them accordingly if you want to get the most out of the charity. Not too much, but I think they deserve the money.
I totally agree. I think we frame it in a way sometimes where we think about the people who aren't compensated, who are doing just as important work as these charity people who, the charity execs are in some cases saving people's lives. And so instead of saying, why are they getting paid so much? The conversation should maybe be, why aren't we paying, let's say, our teachers and our nurses as much?
Yeah.
Because they're doing just as much.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, I think this bothers people for two reasons. As soon as you started reading, I heard people kind of groaning over there, like, what? How could they make that much money?
Yeah.
And I think the reason is there's a mistrust because there's been a lot of exposés and stories about charities and nonprofits who've either only been giving a fraction of the money to the people they're supposed to be giving that money to, or worse, they're not getting that money at all, and you find out that it's a total scam. So I think that's why people feel like, oh, you're making hundreds of thousands of dollars a year. Where's that money actually going? How come you're getting paid so much? How are the people that need this, how are they actually getting the money? Secondly, I think that innately, all of us, we have an idea in our head of what a person's value is. Whether it's a Japanese baseball player getting $700 million, or it's a president of a charity getting $300,000, we have a gut feeling of what their number is. And when you think about it, the average annual salary in Canada is about just over $59,000. So when somebody thinks about that and the high inflation, they're thinking about, I can barely make ends meet, but this person who runs a charity is making 3 times, 4 times what I'm making, I think that's what's bothering people so much.
I think for me, we are paying, you know, I love that this list is comparing charities and premiers, because P.S., your tax money is paying that premier's salary. Yeah. And there's a lot of them doing crappy jobs. Right? And so when I just think, you know, if you are choosing willingly to give your money to a charity because you believe in the work that they do, I'm on the board of directors of a charity, and I look at the bigger picture, which is, why is it that in our culture we're okay with CEOs of big corporations making hundreds of millions of dollars? In some cases, they become billionaires, and we seem to be okay with that, but we get upset over somebody who's trying to save the world's salary. Yeah, I think our anger and our anger is misplaced, and I think to myself that every doctor who's out there saving a life right now, every nurse, every teacher, I wish all of them were millionaires. You know why? Because they are actually changing our lives. It's all relative as well. I think when you take a look at a corporation, you know, I think people should be absolutely angry that you've got a Jeff Bezos who's got the GDP of dozens of countries in his back pocket. That's how much money he's making. And we're not mad about that, but you're mad over
You know what? You know why we're not mad about that? Because Jeff Bezos is living the American dream, right? That you can start with nothing and build up and make yourself into a billionaire. There are very few countries where you can actually do that. So that's why people aren't mad at a Jeff. And that's why when they hear about a charity, again, it's the nonprofit. I think it's that word that's like, you're supposed to be collecting these funds. You do this wonderful campaign to tap into our heartstrings to be like, these kids who need this school, who need this medicine, for just a price of a cup of coffee, you can help save Juan and his sister. That's the problem we have, that we turn around and we hear that the person who's at the head of that organization is making hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Yeah, but who else are you going to get? You're going to get someone who's going to say, yeah, I'll do it for 50 grand?
No, it's not about, here's the deal. I'm saying the difference is, people are not mad at Jeff because he's living the American dream. That's why they don't pick on it, because people think, well, if Jeff could do that, then I could be the next Jeff. That's why we don't pick on Jeff. But the issue we have is that there's a person running a charity and they're making a lot of money and they live in a nice household and they can afford to send their kids to the best schools, and I'm here making ends meet. So I'm the charity.
I think we just have to focus on the end product, is what are they supposed to be doing? And I'm talking about the majority of the charities who are doing good work, and you can find out where your money goes to. You don't have to give just because it's a charity. I'm on the board. We have to watch every penny we spend. But if you want someone who's going to do a good job, you got to pay for somebody. You get what you pay for.
Yeah.
You get what you
maybe
pay
people
for.
just want a little bit more transparency. They want to see exactly how their money that they're donating is spent. I think that's also would help people.
Yeah.
And it depends on the charity, doesn't it? Don't you guys feel like, I'll be honest, there are some charities out there, and they they ask for, I'm not going to name them because I would come across as a monster.
Name 'em.
Obviously.
Name 'em.
When you're like, oh my God, they make $300,000, and because like it doesn't align maybe with what I value, what I put first, what I view as a priority. So I think there are personal changes, but I wouldn't roll my eyes if I knew there was a charity exec who was making sure the kids in my community and across the country were getting 3 square meals a day. Give him $300,000 if he's running that, or she, is running that charity successfully.
Yeah, amen to that.
Hey there, what did you think? Drop your comments below and join the conversation. And don't forget to like and subscribe so you can find more on everything from food and fashion to pop culture and current events. See you soon.